and welcome to another episode of Dose and a Half Cincos. This is episode 97. This week we cover in our movie of the week, No Time to Die. But before we get into it, and we just got DCMA'd.
It's DMCA, god damn it.
Nope, DCMA.
It's Digital Millennium Copyright Act. God.
Devil May Cry Assumption.
Yeah.
For the
No, David Chen.
If you need a mnemonic device, there you go. It's Devil May Cry, and then whatever weed title they want to put that starts with an A. I'm Stuart.
And I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired too. That's why I was hoping you'd cancel.
Oh, that's what you were saying. Yeah, let's just cancel it. All right, cool.
It's been a good episode, everyone.
Okay, see you guys next week. We're watching
Hippie Reiki Masters. Okay, thanks.
Wait,
Bye.
what? That's my.
All right,
the shortest episode
ever.
All right, we'll just. I guess since we're all still here, we'll try to do this one real quick. All right, guys, see anything else besides No Time to Die this week?
I did.
All right, give us the anime movie first.
I didn't.
And,
no anime.
Man, you don't need to lie.
I'm not lying.
You're among friends. Safe space. This is a safe space for you.
No,
No,
it's
not.
Okay, you stop lying.
I've never been a safe space.
Nice try. Anyways.
All right, so which Asian movie did you watch this week?
It was a TV show.
Let me guess. Squid Game.
I did. I watched the first 2 episodes.
I was about to start watching it last night when I was eating dinner, and then I realized I'm gonna have to read this stuff. So I'm gonna maybe I'll watch it later.
Yep.
Thoughts, Ben?
Yep, it's a TV show.
It's a show, all right.
What'd you watch, too?
Oh, it's a good thing Ben went first. Every time David asks me, I blank out, even though I know.
That's why I've already decided we're just going to let Ben go. And
Okay.
we're just saying alphabetical order.
Okay. Well, I watched Dave Chappelle's Closer on Netflix.
Oh, so did you hear the transgender joke? And are you canceling Dave Chappelle is the question.
Well, yes to the first part and no to the second part.
Interesting. I'll kind of dive a little bit more into it during the Cinco or Swim section.
Wow, spoilers for the Cinco or Swim section.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We really are getting canceled this episode. All right. We're really speed running.
We've tried 96 times so far, so
yeah. We're going to get canceled on 99. We'll never be able to get to the centennial.
We started off strong in episode 1, and then I feel like we've kind of waned down the stretch here.
On the cancel meter or what?
Yeah.
The
first thing out of my mouth was something about black people meat or something.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I followed up with something that if we were popular at all, we probably would have been canceled on the first episode.
Don't worry. It'll work its way around. It'll bite us in the ass 10 years from now.
Yeah, if any of us decide to host Jeopardy at some point, that we'll get canceled because we said something really racist 2 years ago, almost to the date. Okay, me still watching a lot more. It's Always Sunny. Finally got to season 7, and I got to see Fat Mac. This is his greatest feat.
Rum ham. Did you get to that one yet?
That rum ham and the Jersey Shore. Let's see what else.
Let me ask you something real quick, since you've kind of gone in chronological order now. At what season, if it's happened yet, has Dennis started to slowly become more psychotic? Has that happened yet? Because I feel like as the show's gone on, he's become like each character has become more and more.
That's the one thing that like, so Irene's been kind of like watching it with me like sporadically. So I'll just like, I'm bored or whatever. I'll start watching like 4 or 5 episodes, like a couple episodes here and there. And then she'll just happen to be sitting next to me during one of those episodes. And she goes, that guy's that guy's crazy. And I was like trying to count the number of times she's said that because I had a feeling that you were going to ask that question. And I don't think he ever was sane at one point because he's so he's so into himself from the very beginning. I think it's like vanity is very easy to kind of.
I feel like though in the earlier seasons he was almost like somewhat the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Until eventually he's everything he says is just completely insane.
Yeah, I feel like I think it was season 4 when like the tipping point is after the memoirs.
Oh, okay.
Right, where
so maybe Dennis just has this like concussion. He's like had a head injury and now he's just
he did get clocked over. He did get clocked over the hands trying because Dennis, not Dennis, Mac and Frank take him to that rehab center to try to reenact the stigmata.
Yeah, and he sees Sinbad and Matchbox 20.
Yes, and then so I think that may have been the thing that kind of tipped him over, but yeah, he's been slowly getting crazier and crazier, but it's not so slow at this point. It's rapidly. I'm curious. Have you guys seen the AP Bio TV series?
No.
Because I know he's in it. Glenn Howerton is, and I'm curious if his character is anything.
It's still going,
Dennis.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his face is the new season? What's his name? Bruce Campbell.
Nice.
Oh,
Bruce Campbell's in AP Bio.
I think apparently he plays Dennis's. He plays Howerton's dad.
Yeah.
Nice. Should watch that.
Pretty great. And then started watching The Office again. Apparently, Irene has never seen The Office.
What? The British Office?
No. Yeah, Steve Carell Office.
Yeah.
There was one question I wanted to ask Stu, but I think I forgot it. I didn't write it down, but I'll if I remember it, I'll come back to it. Okay. Anything else, guys, this week before we go over to our box office rundown?
This isn't really anything I watched. It's more like something I had to do. It actually happened today.
Oh.
I was at the gym and someone asked me to record them working out on their phone.
Okay.
Is this a friend of yours?
No, this is a complete stranger.
Do they happen to sit next to you at the theater when you're watching movies?
No, nothing like that at the movie theater this time for me. Although I will say this about going to the movie theater. I went at like a night show, which normally I don't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised at how many people are going to the movies. Like I had to wait in line for concessions. I was like, what? And there were like 3 or 4 lines.
And they ran out of popcorn.
I mean, they almost did. Luckily, the new one was bubbling over as soon as I got up to the front.
Fresh popcorn. That's crazy. I feel like there was like this switch that was flipped and everybody went. Did you go to the one in the Spectrum?
Me?
Because apparently Ben says it's never been. It's almost like it's been untouched by the pandemic.
Wait, what?
Really?
The new one? Like that one's swarming now.
That's what I mean. Like it was never touched by the pandemic because people were always sort of
what?
the
COVID
spectrum.
Yeah, no,
what's that?
It's crazy. I don't know. It's like a shopping mall in there because like there's like 5 different concession stands.
You mean a shopping mall inside the shopping mall?
Yeah. I don't know. There's like one that does dessert and one that does popcorn and one that does, it's weird. I don't get it.
What is okay, I guess we're a movie podcast. I've never asked this question. What is your go-to if you had a go-to combo? We were going to call it I'll start with Ben since Stu, I think you're going to want to think about this. If there was a Ben combo at the movie theater and you were to say I would like to have my usual, what would be in it, Ben?
Real answers only.
Medium popcorn, 2 medium drinks, don't upgrade, fuck you.
Don't upgrade.
Wait, 4 takoyakis. Just kidding. Huh?
2 medium drinks for yourself?
Yes, for myself. No, I always go with Letty. So 2 medium drinks, 1 medium popcorn.
No candy, no Slurpee, no slushy?
No.
All right. So here's the bone. I got a bone to pick
okay.
with popcorn and popcorn sizes. So normally I was always getting small popcorns,
Mm.
and I can get by with a small soda because the small is pretty big. But I feel like the small popcorn, even if I'm taking my time with it, it's before like 5 minutes into the movie, I'm like out of popcorn.
Yeah, definitely.
So I tried getting the medium last night or whenever I saw it, and still the same thing happened. And this time maybe I was like 10 minutes into the movie, and I was like, I'm already at the bottom of the bag. What the fuck?
Yep. But then you get the large.
And then large, and I'll never finish it.
Yeah, and it's only 50 cents more, or whatever the hell it is.
It was 50 cents to go from small to medium, and then it's another 75 cents to go from medium. It's $1 from medium to large.
Yeah, I'd be a fool not to get that. I'll get the large.
I'm losing money if I don't get the big one.
It does come in the cool blue bucket now, though, so I do like that aesthetic, but I can't justify sitting there with a large bucket of popcorn by myself.
Yeah, actually, there was a guy that I thought was pretty impressive that kind of alludes to your point, Stu. They didn't finish. He finished his own large bucket of popcorn before the preview were over. I was like, "Holy crap!" Because I know this. I knew that. I think he went back for a refill.
Damn.
The only reason I noticed is because I was sitting at our seats, and then I kind of caught in the side of my, like on the side of my eye, is that somebody was like waving like this empty, gigantic thing of popcorn, and he goes, "What? That's it?" And I was like, "What the hell just happened?" I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure it's a challenge. They let you go back and get another one, sir. You can probably go get one. So it can be done, Stu. It's just you need to really commit.
I don't think I can do that.
So, Stu, if there was a Stu combo, what would it be?
It'd be like a popcorn size that's in between medium and large, and a medium soda pop.
Yeah, see.
Okay.
Depending on the day. If I'm feeling saucy, I might swap out the popcorn for the nachos. With extra jalapenos.
But if I'm in a group, I would get the large.
For sure.
And then, you empty it into the bucket. And then
reload. Can I get the refill now? Okay, thank you.
Do the theaters still do that thing where they just assume that you're going to want the other one anyways, so they just load it up in another box?
I've heard them ask that pretty frequently now, where they probably learned that's like people just want the refill now, so just ask them if they want it now.
I think it honestly depends on who your actual cashier is, because some people kind of are sticklers about that. I've seen.
I want to see you finish this, and it's like, dude, I just paid $8 for popcorn, dude. That's air to corn. Get off your high horse.
I just paid $8 for something that cost you like 30 cents to make.
This cost Orville Redenbacher 95 cents for this everybody who bought popcorn in the last 25 minutes. That's $1.
Know that popcorn per ounce is more expensive than most steaks at steakhouses?
No way.
Yeah.
Well, are you talking about popcorn that's already popped?
Per ounce, because that's so much popcorn.
Oh, well,
at the concession stand, specifically at a movie theater.
Let me ask you, what weighs more? A pound of steak or a pound of popcorn?
Pound of steak.
A pound of steak, because steak is heavier.
The steak weighs more than feathers.
But they're both 1 pound. I don't get it.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and move over to our box office rundown for this week. At number 1, no surprise, movie of the week is No Time to Die with 55 million. Number 2, Venom, Let There Be Carnage with 31 million. Number 3, The Addams Family 2. Number 4, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Number 5, The Many Saints of Newark. Number 6, Free Guy. Number 7, Dear Evan Hansen. Number 8, Lamb with 1 million. Number 9, Candyman. Number 10, Met Opera Boris. I think this is a Fathom event. And then falling out of the top 10 is Jungle Cruise and the Jesus Music. Finally, right? That was 10 straight weeks in the top 10 for Jungle Cruise. And here's a fun anecdote. Even though it spent an extra week on the top 10, it failed to surpass Free Guy, which has only been in the top 10 for the last nine weeks, with $119 million versus 116 from Jungle Cruise. So, yeah. And then we're 3 weeks away from seeing Eternals. Eternals is going to be coming out. I'm pretty stoked for that. So we have another Marvel movie coming out as well. So, guys, any comments, questions, anything with that? Box office rundown?
For the sake of time, no.
Yeah.
Got it. All right, let's go over to Cinco or Swimmo.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. Actually, we'll talk about it really quickly. Since Stu, you saw the Dave Chappelle special. Dave Chappelle is getting some heat over his new comedy special, over a transgender joke he made. He responded this week on Twitter saying, "If this is what being canceled is like, I love it." But of course, he says it in the way he did. I didn't.
Right. You got to say it in his accent.
I'm not even going to. He's a legend. I'm not even going to try.
Not even.
So the question is, do you think he actually embraces that, and do you think it's going to hurt him?
I don't think there's anything anyone can do to hurt Dave Chappelle. I think he's pretty much, he's like based like going off of last week, he's kind of like a made man. I feel
he knows what he's getting himself into. He knows who he is, and kind of
like he is who he is, and he's one of like the most respected and like revered comics of like all time. So,
do you think Chris Rock falls into that same category?
I don't know. I think Chris Rock he's definitely up there, but I don't think he'll ever be considered as good as Dave Chappelle.
Who do you think is up in that? Those like Sean's favorite thing is always top 5, right?
Top 5 comics.
Yeah. So Dave Chappelle is obviously in your top 5. Who else is in your top 5?
I don't know. I mean, is this like my own personal top 5 or like trying to like what is considered to be the top 5?
I think we'll go with what's considered, I guess.
Oh, okay. So it'll probably be people like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, probably maybe Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, he was pretty raw.
Robin Williams.
Oh, he's pretty raw and delirious. Who else is there?
And Joe Coy. Joe Coy, top 5.
Of course you would say that.
No.
Yeah, it's going to be Joe Coy,
Bobby Lee,
Jimmy O. Yang,
Bobby Lee, Joe Coy,
Jimmy O. Yang,
and then Jimmy O. Yang, and then Jimmy O. Yang. Oh, Jackie Chan, also top 5 comedian. Ben, do you have anything to add to this? I know that Stu's a huge stand-up guy, so.
Yeah, he is a pretty stand-up guy.
Stand-up guy.
That's all I had to add.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That wasn't really much Cinco or Swimmo.
Yeah, what was the Cinco or Swimmo part of this?
It wasn't. I put it on there, and I was like, "That's why I put it first."
Segment? Are we just making random questions at this point? Like, what is this?
Hey,
well, here I'm gonna make it a Cinco or Swim response and say that Dave Chappelle's closer is a Swimmo.
Who is his closer?
Swimmo. That's the good one, right? Swimmo.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's move forward. Keanu Reeves comic, Berserker. Are you guys familiar with it at all?
I've heard of it.
Only that he like commissioned like his own comic or something?
Yes. Apparently there will be a live action adaptation as a rated R movie. Cinco or Swimmo.
Starring Bradley Cooper. I mean, it looked pretty cool. I didn't really see what it was about, but just from some of the art I saw, I was like, oh, that looked neat. So maybe it'll be cool.
So Cinco or Swimmo?
I'll go. Well, it's Keanu Reeves, so I'm gonna go Swimmo.
Ben?
I don't know. I don't even know what it looks like.
All right, Keanu Reeves.
Well, actually, wasn't there a time at one point that like pretty much Keanu Reeves was considered like a Cinco instead of a Swimmo? Is it because of like The Matrix, John Wick that turned? Right, because for a long time he was kind of like more of a heartthrob.
In between
action star.
I feel like in between Matrix and John Wick, he was like Like no one was like, what was he doing? What was he up to? What's he doing?
He did like Man of Tai Chi and
yeah, I was like, what's he up to? I don't know.
He's following in Tom Cruise's footsteps.
He made a pretty bad sci-fi movie. I can't even remember the name of it, but damn, it was. Fuck.
There was this one movie where like these two hot chicks show up to his house and they're all naked and shit, and that was weird to see Keanu Reeves in that predicament. I never watched the movie. I just saw the important parts, if you know what I mean.
Money shot. All right. All right. Moving forward, Mike Flanagan, also known for bringing the House on Haunting Hill, is bringing more horror to Netflix with the fall of the House of Usher and other Edgar Allan Poe related works. I guess this is mostly for Stu, because Ben, you haven't seen the stuff for the Netflix stuff, right?
Haunting of Hill House,
like Midnight Mass and everything. No, and I don't really listen to Usher, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
No. The House of the Fall of Usher. Actually, it's interesting. There's a reference to Edgar Allan Poe in one of the first Simpsons House of Treehouse of Horror episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It wasn't even a joke or anything. It was just like a straight up.
They took the entire thing. Yeah. Nevermore.
Just with Simpsons characters.
Yeah. That's great. Fine literature finally reached TV.
I was almost about to watch Midnight Mass, but I couldn't tell from the preview if this was like, is this some like just going to end up being some kind of goofy religious movie, or is this actually like a religious horror movie?
Religious horror.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I couldn't tell from like the little preview that Netflix gives you, so I was like, maybe not. But then I saw like a screenshot of like their little thumbnail. I was like, that looks like it'd be scary. So
5 or Swimo for Mike Flanagan's new stuff.
I guess, I don't know. What did he do? Haunting of Hill House?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember if that was the one I liked or not. There was like
I think
two of them.
You were kind of like warm on it, but
there were two like horror shows like that came out. There was that one, and then it was Haunting of Hill House, and then something, whatever. I'll go, maybe, I don't know. I'll go 5 just to mix it up.
So
I can't remember which one's the good one.
Browno.
Swimco.
All right. Next one. According to Soul Suppliers, sales of white slip-on vans has gone up 7,800%.
Soul Suppliers?
No, the guys they sell. Yeah, Soul Suppliers mentions that white slip-on vans has gone up in sales 7,800% since the release of Squid Games. 5 or Swimo for the like everybody having like this is the new Halloween
Halloween costume.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go 5 because that's white slip-on vans are like the worst ones you could get. So.
I guess that should have been the. What's your opinion on white slip-on vans, yeah. Swimo or 5?
I hate them
because they never stay clean.
I don't got time to be washing my shoes all the time to make sure they stay white.
That's why you spray them with that stuff.
What?
There's like a repellent or something. Yeah, Scotch Guard. You can dunk them in ketchup and it won't matter.
Keith, you hear that?
Why does he wear white slip-on vans all the time?
No, it's ketchup. It was a ketchup joke. Move on. Move past it.
All right. Seth Rogen has a new podcast called Storytime with Seth Rogen.
Oh, great. Now he's cutting into our market here.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah, he heard that we were doing so well, and we made $40 on Twitch. So, or he has a Twitch stream that's coming up too. So,
made $40 on Twitch and $0 on the podcast.
You have to put in the time, and then it will just generate money on its own. It'll happen. Just trust me. Yes, you got to invest money to make money. 5 or Swimo on Seth Rogen's new podcast. Would you be listening to it? Essentially,
where's Ben? Did we lose him?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
He just decided not to contribute anything.
Like, why do I feel like I'm the only one talking?
I'm speedrunning this. All right.
By not talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like 2 seconds off.
I'm gonna ruin your speed run. I'm gonna go on for several minutes now.
Okay, go ahead. let's hear this filibuster. Let's go.
Yeah. You see, the thing about Seth Rogen is
what's the deal with Seth Rogen?
why is Jerry Seinfeld talking about?
Is his first name Seth or is it Rogen? Why has he got two first names? I'm gonna go. I can't remember which one's the bad one. Cinco.
All right. Letitia Wright is back in the news, spreading anti-vax information on the set of Black Panther. Cinco or Swimo, if she will be eventually canceled and have to leave.
Well, I was never really into her being the new Black Panther anyways, but I'm also not for canceling people.
Okay. So where do you stand?
I don't know. I'm somewhere in between.
Okay. What if I were to tell you that
I'm like dog paddling?
Okay. Because of the untimely and sad passing of Chadwick Boseman, there are rumors that Killmonger is going to be making a return.
Oh, you mean like the thing that we said like several months ago?
Yeah, but doesn't that make you feel better? If Letitia
no, because we're not going to get credit for it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Video game news. Rockstar announced Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition with Grand Theft Auto 3.
GTA 5 Definitive?
No. Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Cinco or Swimo. Oh, and also 5.
Of course. I don't know. I'm not. I played those games just to like get through the story and dick around a little bit. I was never like super into like replaying them or just like farting around in them. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not the best person to ask this question.
Okay. What about what was the Norman Reedus video game?
Death Stranding.
Yep. Getting a new edition for PlayStation 5. Are you guys picking that up?
No.
Didn't they announce that like a while ago?
Yeah, that was a while ago. But anyways,
they're remastering it for the PlayStation 5.
Guys, the Sega Dreamcast is coming out.
The remastered director's cut? No.
All right, I'm gonna.
It took me long enough to get through that game the first time.
Okay, it's pretty much just like you're a mailman, right?
Pretty much.
You're just delivering stuff.
Sometimes you shoot things or throw stuff.
You shoot mail. You throw mail.
So you're basically a United States postal worker.
All right. Ben, I'm going to see if I can get Ben to talk about this at this point since he's been quiet for most of the segment. So thank you for carrying more than your share of the weight.
Oh, You're welcome.
No,
yeah,
Ben,
what
shut
else
up.
is new?
All right. Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba released a prequel trailer. So, Ben, Cinco or Swimo?
The fuck is that?
Like the sequel to Mugen Train.
I don't have to act. This is all natural, baby.
No, you know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
I specifically rehearsed saying that name at least twice.
No, you didn't. You probably rehearsed saying it when you first saw the trailer. Like, damn, how do I go to GameStop and ask them to pre-order that for me?
The first thing that I thought of is Ben's going to need a tissue because he needs to clean himself off after watching the official trailer.
Wow, that sounded like you really put a lot of thought into that one.
I did. All right. See, I got him to talk. It's fine. We'll move on. Apparently, Jack Black is also rumored to be joining the MCU. Cinco or Swimo?
Jack Black in the MCU? Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like Jack Black.
I don't know what character he would
Wolverine.
Play, apparently.
Oh, he's going to be Pat Wolverine.
Nacho Libre.
Either that or he's going to be MODOK.
No, it's got to be Patton Oswalt. It's got to be
Patton Oswalt. You have to be snarky. You can't be just... I don't know.
You just can't do like singing stuff.
Yeah, that's his battle cry.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have for Cinco or Swimo.
Thank God.
I know. Okay, let's go ahead and move over to our movie of the week this week. It is James Bond's return in No Time to Die. So, James Bond's past, present, and future collide when a Russian scientist is kidnapped along with a deadly weapon, and he is thrusted into active duty once again after a brief 5-year retirement. Quickly, he realizes that in order to save the world again, there is no time to die. All right.
Wow.
I know. That was so good. We can just end the podcast right there.
Yeah. If you say so, David.
Yes. I always say so, and I always feel like you guys never agree with me. But all right, Ben, thoughts on No Time to Die?
Well, the action sequences were great, really tense, great shot.
You never watched Spectre, did you?
I did not.
You have no idea what's happening in this movie.
Hey, I could piece it together. This is like when I watched, what was it? That one episode?
Scary Movie 3.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to watch the first two to get it, and I already know it's a masterpiece classic that'll stand the test of time.
I mean, no argument here.
Yeah, see? I don't know, like, we got some great performances out of the cast, music was great, but I am having some flashbacks to last week when we reviewed the Sopranos prequel, because I do feel like I'm
missing something.
Yeah, some of the prerequisite knowledge. Okay, like Spectre, like from my understanding, is just another organization out there who does evil shit and is run by Christoph Waltz, right?
Yes.
Is that the basic gist of it?
Pretty much.
Correct.
Okay, was there anything else important that happened in that other than that?
They killed
because
M,
of
right?
because of that.
Oh yeah.
That entity's like involvement.
They killed the original M, or
wait, M was died in Skyfall, right?
Or was it Skyfall?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I don't remember. They all blurred together.
Yeah. See, well, Spectre's the one Christoph Waltz, and he has some robot eye. Okay, cool. Anyways,
dude, spoilers
for Spectre. We're not reviewing Spectre.
Reviewing No Time to Die. That was like.
Yeah, but if you pay attention in Skyfall, you can see that he has robot or Spectre.
You can see the glistening off of the sky. All right, keep going, Ben.
But I'm not talking about like prerequisite knowledge into like the past Daniel Craig Bond films. I'm talking about like, you know, the other Bond films. Like I feel like there's definitely a lot of callbacks and nods to other stuff that have happened within like the Bond film lifetime.
The Bond,
you know?
CU.
Yeah, the Bond CU. Right?
Bond
like I was reading through a few different reviews about the movie, and there definitely were a lot of callbacks to the previous installments, and like particularly like the villain, his connection with like a different Bond villain and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I feel that even if I had all that background knowledge and lore, I would still find this movie extremely spotty and kind of stitched together. I don't understand what the villain's motivations were. Like, Letty and I talked about it at length after the movie ended. And even today, we're still talking about it. We walk the dogs, and like we still just couldn't land on like what the fuck is going on.
Man, maybe that was his goal, was to live in your head rent free.
Oh, just like me and David's. Don't worry, I won't tell Irene. I don't really understand what was significant about like the first scene that happened. I don't like there was a lot of parts that just didn't really make sense to me plot wise. And going back to Throwback Mondays, it does seem like this movie had those similar problems with Saints of Newark. Like it couldn't just stay in a lane, you know. We got this like we got this great story, a Spectre, this cool rivalry between a new 007 versus old 007. We got Ana de Armas's I probably butchered her name. Ana de Armas's character's plot line. That was pretty cool. Bond's relationship with Lea Seydoux. Like those are all cool, great stories and ideas, but damn, like they did not dedicate like enough time to any of it. So I think the movie suffered quite a bit from all that, and a powerful one too, with the director, the original director, leaving after crafting a lot of the story early on. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I do think a large portion of the movie, I could see why they fought really hard to delay this movie for so fucking long.
Because they didn't know what they were going to do with it.
No, I feel like one of the main plot points.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's just like, I think they actually rewrote it so that, you know, they wouldn't get that much flack. And it was just kind of funny. because I think it kind of bled into the rest of the plot, not really making any sense. But yeah, I think it's really sad that this is Daniel Craig's like swan song as James Bond, to be played off like that. I think he deserves better. Like, it's not in no means a terrible movie, but damn, like for the final Daniel Craig Bond movie, it is a little disappointing. I want to say a 5 out of 10.
Okay. Well, he also, I think Daniel Craig at one point said he didn't want to play Bond, and then he kind of got strong armed into this last movie. So,
yeah,
based on his feelings for it, I'm pretty sure.
What about millions more dollars, Mr. Craig? Well, all right, you strong armed me.
What about you, Stu?
I don't think you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Anyways,
you need to have a strong arm to carry all this cash.
All this pallet of cash. So I don't remember too much of the previous Craig movie. I think the only one I remember the most is Casino Royale. But I feel like this one to me had full disclosure, when I watch like a James Bond movie, I'm like fully well aware that I'm not going there for plot, like it. Yep. But
cars and guns.
Yeah, cars, guns, Bond girls, evil villains, and I felt like
explosive implications.
Yeah, and I feel like Ben is right. The villain's motivation is kind of like what, like you don't really. It's not very satisfying, like in other movies, but if you go back through like the Bond CU, the BCU, you probably can find similar villains where they're just kind of evil for evil's sake. But anyways, there were parts of this movie I really liked. Even like the ending, even though, well, I won't say anymore because that's kind of a spoiler. But yeah, I thought like Ben said, the action was really good. I was actually pleasantly surprised how they handled the dynamic of the supposedly new 007 and Daniel Craig. Like I thought they did that very well. They handled that kind of thing very well. So yeah, other than like a few kind of parts of the movie where I was just kind of like, is this really necessary? Or they just kind of like didn't fulfill things similar to last week's movie. I'll give it a 7.
Okay. If I was to look at Bond movies as a whole, I think this one's not as good as some of the other ones, obviously. But if I was to rank them for the 5 Bond movies that he was in, obviously number 1 is Casino Royale. For me, number 2 would be Skyfall, then this one, and then kind of Spectre and Quantum of Solace.
Quantum of Solace can eat a dick.
Yeah, that one's the worst one out of all of them. Spectre at least kind of moved things forward. Spectre, Ben, if you and Letty are still talking about No Time to Die because you're trying to wonder what the motivation is for Safin, I'm still trying to figure out what my motivations were to go to the theater to go see Quantum of Solace. That haunts me over a decade now. Because Quantum of Solace fell right after Casino Royale. I was super hyped, and I waited in a line for over 3 hours, and then had to sit in the very front, and I craned my neck for the entire movie. And I walked out and was like, "The hell was that?" So, but yeah, that's not here and there. So I think out of the 5, I think this is a fitting end to his beginning and end, because a lot of times when I was talking to Irene about this, Bond movies are very self-contained. Yeah, there are stories, there are arcs, that there'll be some callbacks like you mentioned, Ben, but none of them kind of have this story arc that kind of span multiple movies, where there will be some stuff that will really help you watching multiple movies in a specific order, to be able to get some information. And I think that quite a while, even though we had Sean Connery was a long time, Pierce Brosnan's long time Bond as well, I don't think we had a continuity like this, especially across a story. So kind of seeing the beginning and the end kind of get tied in together, I thought they did pretty good. I'll agree with you. Some of the stuff is very, very spotty. I felt like the pacing was a little bit strange in some parts, because I definitely felt like there were some lulls trying to like stitch this villain, like you're mentioning, into the story. But for me, I feel like a lot of his motivations and like kind of the setup for some stuff didn't feel like it needed to be that strong, because we're mostly here to see how he kind of like closes this chapter, right? This version of Bond, where we have a beginning, we have a middle, and then we'll have an end to this entire arc. So for me, kind of seeing him in his like last, like you said, swan song, I think was actually kind of nice to see him on a higher note, right? Because if it had ended on something like Quantum of Solace, I would have been really sad if he kind of just was like, you know what, I guess it didn't do well. We're just gonna give up now, right? So I felt like there was a little bit of fight left. This is definitely not his best acting, but I think it's appropriate. Obviously, he's much older than when he started this whole thing, so I felt like he kind of leaned into that a little bit. He still had his moments where he was still the British chap who's like, zings and stuff like that. So for me, actually, I give it an 8, just because I'm looking at it from a whole cinematic universe, a CU version. So obviously number 1 is Casino Royale. That's 9.5 out of 10. We're looking at Skyfall is definitely like an 8.5, 9, and then this one comes in third. So I'm putting this at an 8, just knowing that I don't even know what I would rate Quantum of Solace as, like a 2.
Jesus, how many times are you going to mention that?
I just really don't like Quantum of Solace.
Damn,
I just don't understand. They need to remake the movie and fix it. There's so many problems with it. All right.
Speaking of living rent free, Jesus Christ.
Right.
They got
a summer home there.
No. It's a community now at this point. Like in-ground pool, above. It used to be an above-ground pool. They were just like, dude, we're never going anywhere. We're just gonna.
They got timeshares. They're leasing, all kinds.
That experience was so bad. Just all right, guys. Any other thoughts before we move over to our box?
Spoiler zone. Jesus,
I'm so screwed. Ooh, that's too much. All right. Anything else before we jump over to the spoiler zone?
No, spoiler zone. Go.
And spoiler zone. All right. Ben, what were you talking about that kind of reminded you of?
I feel like it's pretty obvious, David. How have you not
I'm just going to let him say it.
Okay. Wait, which part are you talking? Wait, what?
The part you were saying, like, they were delaying the movie because of XYZ reasons.
The fucking bioweapon, or the fuck it is, it's like, it's nano machines now or something. But I feel like it's probably they were making a virus, right? Like, am I crazy? Am I taking crazy?
They're nanobots.
Actually, I thought they were just ripping off Metal Gear because,
I think they retooled it because I mean, when you think about it, the scientists that they stole at the beginning. They were all dealing with like deadly viruses, and they just had them everywhere. It's like, why would they be making fucking nano machines? They're probably making a fucking virus.
And the guy who got actually the name of the original Russian scientist actually was supposed to be Dr. Otacon, but they
and also, at the end, at the that bunker or whatever the hell it was, the missile silo, like. What were those people doing? Were they? They're farming, harvesting.
What's going on in there? What is that?
Harvesting
water, acid,
poison. Acid.
Apparently, some kind of acid. Because if you fall in it, you just like melt.
What's that acid for?
I don't know. Why are they milling it?
Yeah.
Why are they tilling it?
I feel like it was probably for the virus.
They're raking the acid. Yeah. What are you doing?
I definitely can see that. That being like originally was supposed to be a virus, which, I don't know. Maybe they're worried that when they got lots of money involved, like any little worry like that, it's like, oh, maybe we shouldn't do that. But
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that, we could kind of see through the cracks, like, maybe this is why they were fighting tooth and nail to like push this so far back. Like this and Black Widow, I feel like they're having a game of chicken to see who is going to release first. they just keep
They're like
releasing.
Black Widow was fine. Okay, we could do it this year.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just like, all right, well, let's do it. I'm pretty sure.
For some reason, the release timing is a little bit funny. Doesn't usually James Bond movies kind of like coincide with kind of like Star Wars, where it's usually released around the holidays?
Yeah.
Because I remember last year it was supposed to be December, so why not just push it to December of this year?
They couldn't hold its load.
Yeah, it blew their load.
Because every day they're not releasing it, they're just bleeding money.
Yep. That was that many more, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars they could have made.
Mm-hmm.
But I did with the retooling of the story aside, I feel like they retooled it right into. They're like, I just played Metal Gear for the first time. Maybe we use some of that. And so
it did seem like that. It honestly did kind of seem.
It has like nanomachines, and then when they go to this like island where they have to go in the submersible into like this empty like load. Like this is the intro to Metal Gear 1. All right, guys, we've all played that game. This is what that is.
And he didn't hide in a cardboard box though.
Yeah, that's true.
Or is that too much?
You know what? There was a part in the movie where, like, what was her name? Leia Sado. She shows up in like an all white, get up, and like Big Mom.
Are you complaining?
No, it's just like, damn, that's like it's
also
this is Metal Gear.
I didn't realize till that scene that it might be kind of crass for this podcast, but she's kind of stacked. What's her name?
Leia Sado.
Yeah. She was like, wow, I'm too distracted right now.
The Bond woman.
Yeah.
Bond.
You know what I was distracted by? I was distracted by the defector from the CIA.
Yeah, fuck that guy. See, that was another thing I was talking, like I mentioned, and you're probably the same, is that there's some things that weren't like very fulfilling about the movie, and now I feel like that arc was one of them.
Yeah, I like the idea. I really do. I just wish they focused more time into it, or like just cut off a different storyline. Like you said that you found the dynamic between 007 and the new 007 to be cool, but I honestly thought it was kind of weak.
Well, it was by cool. It was better than I was. Like I had very low expectations going into it about how they were going to be doing that.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was going to be more like preachy and like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, but I felt like it was like okay, as long as it wasn't that, then I'm okay. But I think as far as like the CIA defector guy, like I really wish it was more satisfying. He had more of like a satisfying end because he basically he kills one of like the long-standing recurring characters.
Yep, Felix.
Yeah, Felix from the Daniel Craig BCU.
Mm-hmm.
So like. Everyone's like, he's kind of like almost like comic relief character, and he kills him. So you kind of want like to me, I wanted like a more satisfying revenge.
I see that.
Yeah, I wish there was a little more cat and mouse going on, but it was just like he killed him, and then the very next time you see him, he kills him back. It's just like, okay, well, fuck. I wish there was a little more tension there because he did do something, like you said, it was like he killed one of the mainstays of the Bond universe, and you want that feeling of when he actually kills him to be satisfying, and it just wasn't because there's so many other things going on. But the reason I say that I was distracted by a guy was that when he first showed up, I'm like, why the fuck do I know this guy? Like, his goofy ass smile. He's the fucking dude from fucking Game Night with the fucking dollar bill.
Oh man, this movie just went up to like a 9.
I'm like, what the fuck is this dude doing? I thought he was going to be comic relief, and then he turned into like a defector and everything. I'm like, I can't take this seriously. I really can't. Like, this dude's just going to pull a dollar out.
He's also in the TV show Made for Love with what's her name?
Who cares? We're talking about sliding dollars across the table.
Yeah.
And then he slides another dollar on top of that.
But one thing, so to me, the movie was kind of like had its peaks and valleys, and to me, the first act was like that could have been like a whole movie to me in and of itself. Because I really liked the first act and I wanted to see more of the CIA the CIA girl that he was working with in
Paloma.
Cuba.
Yeah,
that whole thing was cool. Like,
dude, that sequence was great. I really
I wanted like the way she kicked kicked those dudes and they're like spinning on the ground, shooting them. Like, dude, that was awesome.
Yeah, the way they shot that was really cool. The way that she did that drop kick, pulls the gun, and then it's like that top down shot of her like just shooting, like lying on the floor like that. That was really fucking cool.
Yeah,
I thought we were gonna get more of her.
You know what I'm saying? But
none of the artists, man. Like what? It's kind of weird seeing both of them together again after Knives Out in such different circumstances. You know, like now they're super spies, and Knives Out, one is, just throwing up everywhere, and one is.
I thought that's what she was. I think there was a little bit of like a callback, just like a little bit of a mention of that, because she was like, "Oh, I've only had training for 3 weeks," and I was like, "She's gonna throw up, isn't she?" I'm not gonna be able to unsee this now at this point.
Yeah, but I guess that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, I wish they dedicated more time into that, because it was a cool, sequence and idea, and it was just like a toss away, and it never really plays into anything else. That was it.
Yeah, I could have gone with like a whole standalone movie with like Bond and her as the main characters.
Yeah,
I feel like we got robbed because the trailer showed that she was in a much bigger role, and we only got her in it for like 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah, I feel like she's a pretty big actress at this point, and they just totally squandered it.
But didn't fit in the arc, and I feel like Rami Malek's I don't know, he kind of left a lot on the table, I feel, but I feel like they probably just didn't feel like they needed to do too much with it, because he was just supposed to be like creepy.
Yeah, I don't think it was his fault necessarily. I think he did a really good job. It's just the writing for him was just terrible. It's like, what are you supposed to do with shit except cover yourself in it? It's just like, like what was it? Okay, this was another part we didn't really fucking get. Like, why did he just like let his collateral go? It was just like he had the little girl.
That was really dumb.
Yeah, I can't. There's usually things in movies that bother me. It's like, oh, why would you touch that? Like if you're on an alien planet, why would you take off your helmet and touch the weird plant life or some shit like that, right? But this one is just a whole new level of stupid. It's just like it's like literally doing something so anti-intellectual. It's just like it's like him equivalently taking a gun out of his pocket and just shooting himself in the stomach just to see what it looked like. It's just like
what completely the opposite of everything that he was doing up until that point.
Yeah, it's just also, why is he a weeb?
Well, I mean, because they knew you were going to be watching.
Oh, okay.
So.
What was the worst part of the movie? I haven't had one of these attacks in a really long while, but during during some serious movies where it's a serious part, there'll be just something that happens where I think it's just so fucking stupid and funny. Like I can't help but just start laughing, and I have to like hold it in. Huh?
Is it like when Train to Busan, the guy
dies, like that,
and you started cracking up while everybody else was crying?
Yeah, like it's supposed to be like a serious part, and you just can't help but just start laughing. I had to really keep it in when fucking Daniel Craig starts apologizing to Rami Malek, and he does the stupid Japanese apology bow, and I'm just like, oh my fucking God.
I was a little bit confused by that, and then I saw, oh wait, he's going for something.
I mean, like, yeah, that's the whole thing. I'm like, I bet he's going to try to shoot him or something, but god damn, he's really doing the fucking bow.
I didn't even realize that's what he was doing. I was like,
he knows his audience.
Why are you putting your head to the floor?
As soon as he like put down the weapon, I'm like, you better not fucking do it. Oh my god, he's on his. Oh my god. Yeah, that was the best part of the movie for me.
Well, sounds like the worst part, but.
All right.
I will say this though, it was sad to actually see like at the end to see like James Bond die, because like that never happens.
Mm.
James Bond always rides off into the sunset.
Yeah.
So that made me a little sad watching that.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Like I do think that the ending was great. It was very emotional, and Daniel Craig really sold it. So it was great. It's just I don't think that everything leading up to that really sold it for me,
or like justified it almost.
Yeah, like if you looked at it in a vacuum, that scene, like I think that's a great scene, but with when you enter into the rest of the movie, I'm just like,
Also, I don't know if you guys can refresh my memory. I wasn't really paying attention to this particular detail, but when he was like fighting his way up the stairs, were there some like really long continuous shots there?
Yeah, that was one continuous shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I did like that scene. Yeah, it was very claustrophobic, just one, just going up and it keeps going, like it gets more and more difficult as he goes up, just like more and more people
exploded and then he's like half concussed and he has to keep going.
Yeah, it was a good scene. It was a good sequence. I liked
the raid, the redemption.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. I had a question to ask. Like, what was the purpose of Rami Malek saving what's her face at the beginning? Was there any kind of like consequence from that, or
I don't know. I think it was just kind of what we're saying. Where it's like, what are his motivations? We're not really given any kind of clear.
Okay, that kind of.
We know that the Spectre killed his family or something, and that's about all we know.
Yeah.
So her dad is Madeline's dad is what's his face? His character, like can't remember his name in the movie.
Some Spectre agent.
Yeah, the Spectre head, right? Yeah. And so he puts out a hit and he kills everybody, but he fails to kill the son. The son comes back to exact revenge, and I think he had a moment of weakness and realized that Madeline had nothing to do with it, and so he saves her instead of kills her. And so I was reading up on this, and apparently I guess there was like, Bond villains usually have some type of like master plan or something like that, but maybe just because he had lost his family, he went so crazy that he felt at this point the only way to kind of move forward is to kind of like get rid of this connection to his past, which is her. And so he is trying to kind of like punish her in like the worst way possible by killing the only thing that she loves, right? Because remember that scene when they were like talking in her office, and he goes, "I'm going to take away everything you've ever loved," and she goes, "There's nothing left," and then he goes, "No, there is." So his idea is to try to kill Bond or torture him to get to her, essentially, just to mess with her. But releasing the giant nanovirus, the nanobot virus thing, that's a little bit weird.
Don't say nanomachines, we'll get in trouble.
Nanomachines, nanobots. So that's the part where I got lost. Everything else up to that point I was like, that makes sense. He's punishing her because her like, this is the ultimate long con, right? Kind of like, let her live, and then at the very end, I'm just going to kill everybody around you and make you suffer because your dad made me suffer.
That's the long con.
I mean, she's how old now versus how old was she when he was saved? I mean, it's 25 plus years, whatever. Like, it's a lot of torture. It's kind of like Stewie Griffin and Brian Griffin, right? When he owes him money, and it's always like the threat of being pushed in front of a bus or being hit or something like that. He goes, "Can you just get it over with?" It's kind of like that. But the releasing the nanobots into the world, I was a little bit weirded out by it. But yeah, so like that's kind of like the punishment, is that he infects him at the last moment, even though he's about to save the world, but he can never see them again. So that's why he ends up sacrificing himself. I know it's kind of loose, but that's the way I interpreted it, and it made sense to me, so I can wrap this story up.
I feel like if he really cared, like, I know they were trying to end his Daniel Craig's tenure here, but I feel like if he was really, if he really wanted to, he could have tried to escape, and then he could, they could try to. They said at the time there's no way to get it out of your body. But like,
I felt like that was a real weird moment, because I feel like there's been more dire circumstances, and there is a lot of hand waving in James Bond. So it's just like, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure, it's like, oh, dilate your blood, blood dialysis, and get rid of the nanomachines or some bullshit.
And even still, like, so you're telling me that this woman that you love with like all your heart, and then you realize you find out you have a daughter, you're not even just like being able to physically be around. Like, you maybe you can't like interact with them or touch them, but you can at least like talk to them and do stuff like that, but like
it's transmissible over video calls.
Oh,
Love
okay.
is
Now we're getting.
transmissible.
It infects you.
Okay.
All right, guys. Any other thoughts before we go ahead and wrap this one up today?
No, hurry up! It's almost 1 hour. We need to get under an hour. Wrap it up.
All right, so guys, join us next week as we cover The Last Duel in our movie of the week.
Confess.
You can find us on wherever you're getting your
Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. That's David. I'm Stuart. That's Ben.
Don't forget to rate your message. Stay safe. Okay, bye.
Bye. End it.